I mean, you've aptly nicknamed me the Godfather. Maybe just because of my age. I'm not sure I'm the oldest one anymore, but possibly I am. But Godfather takes care of more than just their own children. They take care of everybody around them, and I'm struggling to do that right now.
What the world needs right now is more positive leadership. All this negativity going around, we need some spearheads, some figureheads that are going to lead us out of the darkness.
Greetings from hell, from Corona, or COVID-19 otherwise known. All jokes aside, we're living in an unprecedented time. And yes, this may bring out some shitty sides of people, some real arsehole people. But it also brings out some of the best qualities in people.
We are right now in the age of awakening. I believe that we are the universe made real, come to life. The universe has come to life and is asking the question, who am I? What am I here for?
So I beg you, please, stop counting your bags of pasta and toilet roll and wake up.
Can someone, anyone, please explain why there are so many people buying toilet roll? Anyone, comment below, ring me on the phone, send me an email, send me a letter by the post. I don't care. Can someone tell me why there's so many people buying toilet roll?
The one thing that I would say is that everything in this universe, everything that we know, has a polar opposite. So there is always, we can't have one thing without the other. We live in a world of duality. We were born into duality from the oneness. So everything has its opposite. So there's always, whenever there's bad, there's always going to be good, and it's in the same amount.
'Tis me down by my lake, except you can't see the lake at the moment because I'm facing it. Hold on a second, take my glasses off. Rude.
So this emergency question, probably the easiest one for me to answer of all the ones that have been asked, and it's bang slap in the middle. Greeting from hell, I'm not having that. Gift from heaven, I'm definitely not having that. You've got to believe in both of those things anyway to even consider that.
Is it a gift? I think it is a gift. I think it's been a gift to the planet to date, in the sense that we're seeing that the air is clearer over industrial areas, and we're seeing that dolphins are swimming in the canals in Venice, which is great. So I think in that respect it probably is, actually. It very much is a gift to the world that we're living in. But on the other hand, it's only a gift to us, I think, if we learn from it. It could be we could learn an awful lot.
Whichever way round you want to look at it. I'm not sure about a gift from anybody. How would you even contemplate it to be a gift? Whatever plus factors you might think about people spending more time with families or not, as is happening. So I don't see that. A lesson from nature would be the one that would fit out of the three, if any. So, a lesson about people, a lesson about lifestyle, a lesson about the way the world has developed, and the fact that the whole world is being affected by this is something straight out of the movies.
Who's right, who's wrong, it doesn't even matter, okay? There aren't any coincidences. You can see what's going on. There's definitely a big control being placed down on society. Whether it's natural or unnatural, it doesn't matter. Again, it's more of the fact of that fear, the control, that element of isolation.
This is not going to go away. If it's Mother Nature, she'll send another one and another one. Until we learn, or unfortunately, I believe until we pay the price.
So is it a greeting from hell? Perhaps, and some would definitely say so, and perhaps those that have lost or in fear of losing, this could definitely be construed as a greeting from hell.
It's a sign for me a lesson from the nature that we have to change.
We're living in a time that we've never seen before in history. Don't get me wrong, there has been viruses before, but this is unprecedented in its nature.
Wherever you go, it's the only word that is on people's mouths. They've forgotten how to live. Because coronavirus has taken over the world.
And what that did to people and the craziness you're seeing right now in some areas for supermarkets and warehouse supermarkets, of people queuing for miles with their trolleys and fighting over toilet roll for... I just don't... So a lesson from nature that the lesson for me is that people are so easily led.
Just take a look in the shops when you go shopping. You can see empty shelves. People are being so selfish about this. So is it from hell?
I really think we must stop and breathe and stop to contemplate and see this for what it is. It is, for me, a training ground, a practice for almost like the real thing. Right now, if Ebola and Corona had a baby, would we ever really survive that if that happened right now? No, I don't think we would.
We have to slow down our lifestyle, our behaviors, our thinking patterns, our conditioning, and so on. So for me, it's a great lesson that the nature wants us to learn sooner than later.
So if we look at it as a lesson from nature, we can really think about, when we say lesson, it doesn't have to be in terms of paying back. You know, people on the earth did this, so nature is paying us back. A lesson is something that is taught, something that is shown. So if we see this as a lesson, something has been shown to us in a relatively small and short amount of time to show us what can be done for this planet and for human beings.
And it's also a totally new experience for all of us, because this time we know what's going on around the whole world. We know what other countries are doing and how it's being affected by the virus. We're able to communicate. In fact, actually, we can't get away from the communication. It's on every news, every bulletin, every feed. It's on every post on Facebook and social media. This is affecting literally every single person on the planet.
You know, are we in this state of our civilization when we really need a proper shake-up? We really need to wake up and see that the ways we've been living by until now are not longer working. That instead of seeing ourselves, each of us separated to each other, we need to unify. You need to be unified and stand together and show the other's compassion. Because what happens to you on some level happens to me. That was a beautiful thing said there by the underdog. If we've learnt anything from this, it is the fact that we are all connected. Everything is connected.
So whatever experience on the negative side that people are experiencing from the coronavirus, there is, if they look, the same level and amount of experience of good in it as well. Sometimes that's hard to see for people, but there is. That's just the law, one of the laws that we operate under. Just a bit like the law of gravity. If you jump off the roof of a house, you're going to fall down, you're going to come down. You have to do that. Well, as is the law of polarity.
It is definitely a gift to the planet to date. It's giving the planet a chance to breathe, and it could be a gift to us if we learn from it and turn this negative into a positive.
My gosh, this is madness. One doesn't really understand what the coronavirus is. They're saying they're trying to do trials to get a vaccine for it. And this could take over a year. A virus? Is there a virus? Or is there something else underlying that the government officials in each country is not saying? Just imagine when the officials of each country has a G8 meeting. We don't know what they talk about.
I think there's many lessons to be learnt in this time. Today I'm pained thinking about this. You see, I knew as much as you know and everyone else knows that the planet could not sustain the way we was behaving, the population, the way we're growing. And we do a little bit. But that's not enough, is it? It's not enough to undo the damage that we've done.
Because, you know, we can hurt nature as much as we want. And the planet itself can accept that over and over and over. Again, we're doing that for the last 50 years. We have lost so much on this planet. And this is our only home. And we don't appreciate it enough.
What's going on? We need to unite. We need to uplift each other. It's such a shame to see where we've come to. Is it a controlling of our minds? Because if you do not hold on to your mental state, this can affect you.
And now, just virus came somehow. Quiet. Quiet. you don't have to go anywhere. You actually have to stay at home with your family. You can build the relationship with your family. You can spend time with your kids, and kids are growing, I mean, so fast. So now is the time to finally hug them for a while, to play, Scrabble, whatever with them. Even watch movie, Finding Nemo, for example. We need positive, lovely, happy endings right now, and we can build it with our families, our children.
But for me, regardless of how I believe it got here, where it's come from, why it's here, the bigger plan behind it, and believe me, there is a bigger plan behind it, whether this is real or not, whether this was planned or not, whether this was constructed, man-made or not. There is a bigger plan behind it. But also, this was meant to happen.
But over time, we've forgotten. We have completely forgotten that we're disposable. We are adding nothing to this planet, and we've just been taking and taking.
I was speaking to somebody who was extremely spiritual the other day, and he told me it's nature's way of readjusting. The world had to be stopped. It was destroying itself. And it seemed really far-fetched at the time, but I've had time to think about it, and it does make sense. I mean, look, we've got polar bear mums eating their offspring because they're so hungry, they've got nothing to eat. With the ice caps melting and the fires in Australia and, you know, droughts and flooding, and it's all gone crazy. We are absolutely stripping this country, this planet to its bare bones.
One of my children called it the Miley-saurus today. Okay, my name is Johnny FITZSIMONS, and by now you're starting to see that from previous gates. If you haven't watched them, let's go back and watch them. Some really cool questions, some really cool answers, really cool people. I'm going to stick with the theme that I always run with. Everything is energy. What we think about, we bring about. What we fight, we feed. The Miley-saurus, it even sounds different than saying the coronavirus. It's a, how will I word this? Because I'm not oblivious to what's going on outside of me. I'm not oblivious to what's going on outside of me. But what I'm certain in is that the most important thing that we can do right now is manage our energy, manage our state. Oh yeah, that's easy for you to say.
My thing is that I believe it's so important to tap into the higher frequencies that are around us and are going on. So how do we do this? So it's really important that we get our minds in a place where we can try and rise above this negative energy.
It's doable, and it's actually easy to do as well. It just takes focus, it takes our attention. Our attention is a true currency. What are we giving our attention to? What are we listening to? Where are we getting our information from? Yes, we are aware that this is happening outside, but if we look at the fact that if we look at the metaphor that we're a house and we've got a solid foundation, then it doesn't matter what weather is outside.
For me, when it first started, and we got a lot of the news about that it's here, the virus is here, and what are we going to do about it? For me, that was the time when I started feeling this incredible power from the universe, and I kind of felt like this is a very, very special time for the world. Very, very special time for the world and the people in it. But I also knew that it depended how the people used it or how they saw it. It depended on how much news we took in. It depended to what we listened to, who we listened to. Because all of the input that we have actually has an effect on our output that we give.
That's not to say when I don't go out there on the street and into the shops and see the 2 meter blinds and the masks and stuff like that I don't see it. But what I do when I'm out there is I be myself. I stay calm. I stay in the eye of the storm. I be that light for somebody else. And I'm assuming you guys who are watching the Gatekeepers at this time, these are also conscious, these are also aware, these are also turned on, lit up, open-minded. So I think that our job is to actually neutralize some of this fear out there. Because let's look at it like this. There's two predominant energies. One is taking us upbeat, one is taking us down to the dumps. The fear that's coming through the mainstream media is real, it's palpable, it's energetic, it's dense, it's putting people into survival state. When we're in survival state, even if we believe that toilet roll is going to be life-saving, that's why we fight. It activates a part of our brain that creates a survival instinct that I need this thing, even if that thing is toilet roll. I don't know about you guys, but for me, I have stopped listening to the telly and the news and radio and mainstream media a long time ago. Ever since I was a child, I never really understood how everybody obeyed these politicians who would do something crazy one week and then apologise and be swept under the rug the next week. I could never understand it. I used to have the attitude that I would not get away in the schoolyard with what they are doing live on TV week in and week out. The way they go to get their votes, what they promise and then never deliver. I never agreed with it. My brand is empowerment. In power, our ment. Our mentality, mastering our emotions and our negative thinking. Government, break down the word, to governments. Again, I'm not going to get too conspiracy, but that's what it is. The television for years has been telling lies through vision, controlling us remotely with the channeled information that it brings.
So greeting from the hell, greeting from hell. Yes. Lesson from nature. Definitely yes. Gift from God? I have to say absolutely yes.